From cannons to flying airships, Leonardo da Vinci envisioned them long before they became a reality. The exhibition, called The Mechanics of Genius at London's Science Museum, has brought to life the mechanical sketches drawn by the artist over his lifetime. The drawings, turned into wooden models, show visitors that he was more than just the master behind the paintings like The Last Supper and the Mona Lisa.
He was also a sculptor, he was a sort of engineer, he got involved in anything from manufacturing machinery to designs for flight, to designs even for armaments and even for architecture. So he was an incredibly wide-ranging man.
The exhibition is at pains to point out Da Vinci was fascinated and inspired by nature.
He literally got absorbed in the world around him and looked very closely, for example, the currents of the air, the flow of the water, and he might then transform it into a device for flight, looking at birds, all of those aspects of nature that he could then make something of it and understand the world better around him and understand some of the science of the world around him.
Even though Da Vinci was working in the Renaissance era, his sketches give a glimpse into the future.
Perhaps one of my favourite objects in this exhibition is his diving suit. And it's quite an extraordinary piece, but it's almost contemporary but also futuristic at the same time. So you have a man's suit standing there with a mask, goggles, air tubes for oxygen, weights on either arm, and really he wouldn't have had the materials available in the late 1480s or whatever when he was designing this suit, but he still had that vision.
The exhibition also explains Da Vinci's achievements in the context of his humble beginnings.
He was illegitimate, which at that time for his stratum of society was a big disadvantage, but he was also in a very rich place. He was living in Renaissance Italy. He worked for a whole series of extraordinary people, ranging from the Duke of Milan to, in fact, the very infamous Cesare Borgia, Renaissance prince and son of the Pope.
Beyond Da Vinci's talent, there was also an ambition that drove him and his work.
He talks again about wanting to be known, wanting to be remembered. I mean, so again, this is a man who had that wish, and he really is remembered. He's world-renowned and remembered over 500 years after his death.
Unlike many people labelled a genius, Da Vinci was far from a recluse. His interest in nature and people was key to his work. As such, it's likely he would have approved of the hands-on nature of this exhibition.
And what our visitors can do is get some hands-on experience with looking at some of the interactives, and you can turn some cranks, you can actually find out how a pulley works. There's lots of buttons to press and really get into some of the principles that he then explains in some of his drawings, which are on show here.
In the modern world, the term Renaissance man is used to describe a fully rounded person. From art to science to engineering and mathematics, this exhibition proves Leonardo da Vinci really is the epitome of the Renaissance man. Sarah Morris, TRT World.